I'm JB Belknap, General Manager of the Herons Glen Recreation District. I'm joined with Tim Portanik, Director of Greens and Grounds, and we have a special guest star, Ricky Nix, the lead designer at Ron Garl Golf Design.
Hole number 3, what a great improvement on the tees on this hole. This really sticks out in my mind. Other things that are big improvement is being able to see the bunkers and the features on the golf course. Again, I want to go back to hole number 2. We had 2 small bunkers on the right hand side of that hole you couldn't even see. We've modified that whole area. The landing area has been completely reworked, drainage added, and we changed those 2 bunkers into 1 bunker that you can really see from the tee. Great improvement there. Tim and I were just reviewing the green, the contouring on the green, and we added a couple rolls, significant rolls on each side of the green that we didn't have on the plan to add some more character to the green. We were reviewing the percentage of fall on the green, making sure we got the right amount of pinnable areas, and that green's really looking well. And matter of fact, they're in the process of draining it right now. We're going to review hole number 3 green right now, take a look at the percent of falls on that green and give approval for them to construct that green as well. So,
Ricky, I know when I've been looking at the greens and we kind of go through and you're talking about the undulations and everything, and one of you and Ron's main philosophies is having a pinnable green. Can you kind of expand on that?
Yep.
With we don't want too extreme of undulation, but just the right amount of movement.
Right, and we want key rolls or key features on certain sections of the green so that the remainder of the green remains pinnable, so you can move the pins around and not create wear patterns throughout the green. So we're looking for 2%, 2.5% of fall in our pinnable areas, and then, like I say, key areas we can go 5% in those areas where we're wanting a significant roll to add to the character of the green.
Sure. So I know a lot of the drone videos that we show of the green, it's going to be hard to see some of the changes that we're making, but from what I've seen on the ground firsthand, I think you guys are going to be in for a welcome surprise when we start playing these. Right. A lot of fun pin locations, a lot of challenging ones, I believe. I think there's one challenging one on every green.
Yeah, we want to try to get a good Sunday pin placement on every one of the greens. Yeah. What a great change right here on the bunkers in front of hole number 3. Those were really flat bunkers. You couldn't hardly see them, and we just raised them up slightly on only a couple feet, and wow, what a difference it makes from the landing area when you're looking into the green on this hole as well. So we're just now really getting good and started on the construction. So it's going to turn out great. The wood wall's gone on 4 now. The rock wall's being installed. Maybe you're showing that on the drone footage. So that process has started. I was driving in today, and you can see the first couple of layers of rocks being installed there, and that's going to turn out fantastic. What a great entrance feature. The residents here at Herons Glen's going to be proud of, I think.
Right. Well, thank you, Ricky. We appreciate you being here, and you've just reminded me not to play on Sundays because of those pin placements. So we appreciate you being here. Grab your cup of coffee or favorite drink, and we'll go up in the drone and show you some of the footage.
Before we go up and show you some of the holes, we'd like to explain the anatomy of building a golf green from scratch. Tim's going to go ahead and narrate.
Yeah, we'll just have the first couple steps here for the rock layer, but what you're seeing here is 9 green has been completely shelled out. The wooden post on the perimeter, those are the established perimeter of the green, and the orange paint is where the proposed drainage is going to be installed on the green. Before this, all the drainage was stripped. The guys box bladed it to spec. Once we got the Ricky thumbs up on the overall shape of the green, and the Ron Garl team, I guess I should say, the Ron Garl team gave us a thumbs up on the shape of the green. Now we're ready for drainage. Looking forward to installing this in the next day.
And you can see the orange paint represents the herringbone pattern that the drain tile will take throughout the green.
We're back on number 9 green. The drainage has been approved. You can see now what we're doing is we're putting in a 4-inch drain tile. It's down kind of on the bottom. You can see the pieces of drain tile. They put those in the herringbone shape, connect them all, duct tape all the connections, and run them out to the perimeter of the green for flush outs. All these are getting lined with granite, which is the superior stone for drainage. Every single drain that we have is got a proper outfall for flushing. Each green that we're doing is going to have probably about 50 to 60% more drainage than it did before. So it was pretty remarkable how little drainage that we've discovered in the basin of majority of the greens out here.
I think people underestimate the importance of draining greens as it relates to turf quality, and I think it's going to be a big improvement over the course of the next several years.
Yeah, 100% moving water is imperial. Now you can see us on, this is actually one green. One green was approved as well. We had the drain tile installed in the herringbone fashion, same as number 9. You'll see the gravel mat is being installed next. This is a 4-inch layer of granite, I should say. 4-inch layer of granite's going to go on top of this layer. After that layer, we're going to have in some future videos the greens mix that's going down. There'll be a 12-inch layer of greens mix that goes on top of this. That all gets contoured and shaped again and then ready for sprig, but that'll be on much later videos. If you see in the back of the green as he's dumping right here, there's little orange flags, and these are all attached to 4-inch pieces of PVC. You can see there's 9 or 10 of them in the area, so the workers know exactly where their 4-inch gravel layer is, and they move those as they're spreading out the granite, so we have an even 4-inch layer throughout the entire number 1 green.
And I think that consistency is imperative to making sure that the contours of the greens are kept intact.
Exactly. So what you see on the bottom should be what you see on top when everything's done. There will be some subtle differences, but yeah, pretty much what the base layer is what they're going to be putting on in the future.
Here we are on number 1. Tim, why don't you go ahead and walk us through it?
Sure. You'll notice common theme as we're doing these drone videos, big huge tee boxes. Also the left side, the walk up from the cart path to the tee box, we took out a considerable amount of vegetation, add more walk up space. A lot of these tees aren't final, just so you know. We are going to be moving a couple over to the left here. You can kind of see right now down below there's an added 6 tee box. And we do have on the front 9 new part 3 tee boxes as well that I think everybody's really going to enjoy. We got some main line going in on the right side of 1 here. We already finished the drainage. You can see the upspouts on the drainage on the right. Got big pipe in there to really help clear those out. But on the left, we tried to do the best we could to shave off a lot of that slope in the fairway. We knew there's a lot of golf balls that when hit to the left off the tee would hit that slope and bounce on the water. So we tried to move as much as that dirt from the left to the right side. So you'll see it's hard to tell from the drone photo, but you can see a considerable change in the elevation on the right side of this. So where those mounds are on the right, we kind of blended those all in to one big ridge.
I think, Tim, one of the things we said when the golf balls, when the terrain slopes down to a penalty area like the water, we're trying to come up with different solutions, maybe bahia grass to catch some of those golf balls.
Yeah, we're still in talks of maybe the left side of that cart path utilizing a different grass so we can mow at a different height of cut. The bimini that we're putting in really isn't meant to be cut over 2 inches, so anything, we're looking at that bahia because we can grow it at 3.5 to 4 inches. You can see here the last 2 days they've been ripping out the wood wall to the left of 1 green and almost have all the riprap done. Right where the Mini X is, you can see the fabric liner that they have to help hold everything in place. And you know, I was watching them for a good 10-15 minutes out there. They really pack these things in there so they're not going to move that far. But that's the erosion control blanket more than anything, yeah.
And now you can see the gravel blanket right on the green like we described earlier in the videos.
Yep, both this one and hole 2 here, they're both going to have that gravel mat all complete. So hole 2, again, huge runway tees. This is the 2 and 3 tee that we're flying over right now. It's almost doubled in width, as has the 4-5 tee. And it's also, we're flying over that right now. It's also kind of hard to tell the exact structure, but where we're flying up now, you can see we removed a few trees on the right side to kind of open up that right fairway. The 2 bunkers in the fairway have been removed, and we made one slightly bigger catch bunker on that right side right before those trees. From the tee, it really stands out. It's gonna look pretty cool. We also took out that big ridge in the middle of the fairway and moved a lot of that dirt to the right side, so that whole right side has been built up quite a bit. We come up here, and again, number 2 just finished all the drainage, so we've got all the granite layer in there, and the fellas are on to the next hole to keep working on drainage. So far we've gotten the go-ahead on 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9 to go ahead and build. So those ones are all ready. We're still waiting on 4 and 7, but the rest are all good to go. Here on 4, we were in discussion yesterday. We got a new 3 tee that's going to be right in front of this 2 tee that we're flying over on the left, and we're going to use some of this dirt that we're flying over right now from this lake bank to try to build that up, save us a little bit of dirt work. The bulkhead on the right of the existing 3 tee is going to be coming out here pretty soon, once the guys finish doing the rock wall and the green.
I think it's one of the big features of this new renovation is the island green, replacing the timber bulkhead with stacked rock. As we'll see a little bit later in this video, we'll see how they cut the rock, but it's quite an endeavor to stack these rocks in a consistent manner. As you can see, the first layer is on, and over to the left hand side of the green they've started the second layer.
Yeah, it really is pretty neat how they do it. They set 2 layers down on the base, and once they establish the base layer of flatness, then they kind of go through and they really gauge which rock is going to work best in what spot. Once the rock is placed down, they grind it, make sure that it's flat. Right now they've got the grinder on this skid steer, and you'll see a video of him kind of flattening out some of these rocks. That grinder also goes on the Mini that's placing the rocks, so at point in time he'll be grinding the rocks as they're in place, and that excess material that comes off kind of fills in some of the gaps and holes once they get going.
Tim, will that grinder make the rocks look a little bit more blocky, rectangular, as opposed to circular?
Yeah, exactly. It squares them up. We've noticed some, all squared up as they've been going. They're like on their second layer right now. So
here we are on number 5.
Yeah, 5. You see the 2 and 3 tees here. The 3 tee, the wall's getting removed on the right and going to be added to the left of that tee. The black silt fence is kind of the border of where we're going to see that tee expand to. The vegetation, these oak trees are going to be remaining here. The 4-5 tee will be expanded out to the black silt fence layer. All that rock is going to get removed, so we're gaining about 10 feet almost of tee size on that 4-5 tees. These 6 tees are actually going to get brought back a little bit and offer us a position to put the 5 tees as well. You can see to the left, a lot of palmettos have been removed. The formation of the new lake, they dug down to about 17 foot right here and have hit groundwater, so that's not any rainwater or anything. That's actually normal lake level that we have throughout the golf course.
And Tim, we took a lot of the dirt excavated from number 5 lake and took it to number 3 to build that up to improve the drainage as well.
That's correct. Yep. And a lot of this, you see some rock and some of this dirt. A lot of this actually gets buried underneath this lake. It was kind of interesting how they build that. And come up here to the green. This one still is yet to be tiled, but it did get approved. We got a new trap. The shape of this is going to change just a little bit. That right edge is going to come in a bit more, and you'll notice that in some future videos. The green itself has a really neat design. Back corner kind of has a shelf. Everything funnels to to the left and front right. You can kind of see where it's a little darker from the rain that we had. As you notice, we did remove several of the palms behind the green. A lot of this was because of the new drainage that's being installed. Also, we want as much sunlight on the greens as possible. Shade is very inhibitive to positive results on Tiffy Eagle turf grass, so it's kind of a common theme you'll see. Plus, it kind of eliminates a problem area for golf balls. You know, if somebody hits one behind the green, they certainly don't want to have to hit through 3 palm trees to get something on the green. So I think removing a lot of this vegetation is really going to help increase the pace of play throughout the golf course.
We'd also like to thank Mike Seiler from TEI for all his drone videos and photography skills. Thank you, Mike.